Kugan Cassius for Eiffel TV. We're at the weigh-in here for the Christmas Cracker 2 show.
Someone said to me the other day, "You're such a liar because you look left in your interviews all the time."
What's that mean?
You know when I go like that? He said that he's analysed my interviews. He's on Twitter, and I'm a liar because I look left. But what I don't realise is we've got people moving stuff out of the way and people coming through. So if they're on the right, I look to the right. So
and crazy fans that could throw something.
I said I'm a liar because he's noticed that I look to the left in interviews.
Was he referring to
Would you say
specific
Kugan Cassius
things?
was well dressed today? Yes, absolutely.
What are you on about? Oh, Velvet Dreams. I've got Velvet Dreams here.
Would you say?
Corduroy?
It is corduroy. It ain't velvet. So yeah. Look, come on. Would you say that Kugan Cassius has got game with the birds? Yes, absolutely.
What do you know about it? You're married. What do you know about
I'm
it?
looking left, aren't I? Longest weighing ever.
It was the longest weighing, wasn't it? It was like 9.
It's going to be the longest night ever tomorrow.
16 fights.
We should have called it the longest night.
You still can.
Yeah.
You still can. Good to see Perrie on the weight, wasn't it?
Yeah, looked good, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's up for it, mate. Listen, this is a tough fight. I think the bookies have got it 10 to 11 a man, so total 50-50. Bundu looked strong though, didn't he? You know, confident. They think they're going to do a job on Perrie. I think Bundu should be the favourite in the fight, but I think Perrie. You don't know what people are going to learn from things like the Alexander experience. In my opinion, you come back a much better fighter. But Perrie Bundu is going to be an absolute war.
What if Perrie was on it on the weight like he was? Do you think that would have made any difference to that Alexander result?
Yeah. Because he would have had more in the tank. He would have been more game. Listen, you talk about Lee Perrie and Devon Alexander. Lee Perrie has learned the hard way. He used to be an unlicensed fighter. He had about 4 or 5 amateur fights or something like that. Devon Alexander schooled from the very best in America, top amateur, pedigree. So Perrie's still learning. But you learn by being slung in the deep end in fights like Devon Alexander. You learn by your mistakes, and you learn by great trainers and great gyms like down at Sims's gym, So a victory tomorrow night can put him in a great position. But Lee Perrie's he's been the underdog all his life in his career. So, and I just think that he's coming on and on. He's strong as a bull, and he's game as a bagel. Strong as a bull and game as a bagel.
Game as a bagel? Where have you got that from? You made it up?
No, it's proper.
Why is a bagel game?
No idea, mate.
Solid, rounded.
Game as a bagel.
Hole in the middle.
I think he's got a great chance. Very, very tough fight.
Kevin Mitchell, change of opponent.
Tougher fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like Tony Sims texted me last night and said, just been watching his kid. You know this is a tougher fight than Zamora. I know that his record might not suggest it, but he's wiry. These French Algerians, they're tough sons of the bitches. You know that. They're fucking hard as nails. He can whack as well. For 6 rounds, he gave Murray a brilliant fight. I thought he was beating him. I remember watching the fight. But Kevin, if Kevin's going to get back to that world title shot, which is ultimately what we all want, he's got to look good and he's got to beat the guy in style.
Martin Murray, what do you know about him? What's happening next week?
He's a middleweight. He's from St Helens.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what a ridiculous question.
It's not a ridiculous question. What do you know about what's going on next week?
No, I'm guessing. I have absolutely no idea. I'm almost certain that they'll elevate Golovkin to super champion, and Martin Murray will fight someone for the WBA regular title. If they go through the rankings, I think it's Daniel Gill. But I'm guessing it will be a lad from Russia called Dmitry Chudnov or something like that, who's the WBA Intercontinental Champion. That's my gut feeling.
Okay. It's interesting information.
It's alright. Well, I don't care by telling you because it's got nothing to do with me. So I can ruin everybody's press conference next week.
No, it seemed a bit...
Incidentally, Sergei Kamitsky looks like an absolute lunatic.
Yeah.
He's from Ukraine. You wouldn't fuck with this geezer, would you? I mean, he looks like an absolute lunatic. You know that he had Murray over in the first fight, don't you?
Yeah.
And it was a really good fight. This is quite an interesting fight because if Murray loses, by the way, that February 1st world title fight's all out the window. So, look forward to it.
It's like we spoke about yesterday. It's a packed card, and obviously it gives a run out for a lot of your boys that not quite there on that level yet, but. people like Ryan Taylor's back, and Roddy Camacho, chance for him to get back in the ring.
All those fights, all those little southern area fights, and English title eliminators and stuff like that. Basically, if you don't win those fights, you're miles off the pace. If Ryan Taylor doesn't beat Floyd Moore, I'm not sure he's got a future in the sport to the level of which we'd like, and I'm sure the level of which he'd like. And the same goes for Ryan Moore, you know, and the same goes for Danny Connor, the same goes for Tiger. So they're kind of fighting for their careers at the same point, and they've got huge support. And you know, anything could happen in any of those fights. I think they're going to be really entertaining. Of course, you've got the other fighters that are ticking over before big fights next year: Jane McDonald, Martin Murray that you mentioned, Paul Smith, even Cal Yafai in the mix as well. And then you've got obviously two good title fights with Mitchell against Uzagi, and you've got Perrie against Bundu. You got Anthony Agogo, you got Cal Yafai, 2 Olympians there. You know, it's non-stop from about 5 to 5 till about 11:45.
Wow. Before the year's out, will you announce anything like for everyone to get excited over next year? Like, you know, something, you know.
We might put a few teasers out there. I mean, I gave you the lowdown on our shows coming up for the first quarter. And yeah, there's so much in the pipeline. You know, Rose, Brooke, Froch, Groves. You know, so much going. What are you smirking at? You make me feel like by you asking these questions that you're implying that you know something.
I only know what you tell me, and I read from that black book we've got.
Yeah. I left that with you, just for people who don't understand that comment. I've got a black book, right? And it doesn't include Crumpet's numbers. It includes all my fights, all my plans. In it, pages of Cardiff, Liverpool, Manchester, Hull, ideas, fights, and it's like the holy grail, this book. And I left it in Kugan Cassius' bag, right? So then next day he goes, "Oh, I've got your black book," and I said, "Did you read it?" And he went, "No, of course I didn't." Bollocks. You would have got home. You would have been so excited when you opened that bag and saw that black book. First thing you would have done was probably knock one out. The second thing you would have done was sit up all night, little lamp on by the bed. Oh, that fight. Oh, who's going to make that fight? And then knocked another one out. And then, you know, I'm surprised that book's even functioning, to be honest with you.
I'm not going to ever confirm to you whether I did it or not. You'll just have to...
I'll
listen,
tell you anyway.
if you really didn't trust me, I'm sure you would have drove around in your 150 grand motor to pick it up, wouldn't you? If you really didn't, if you thought it was in bad hands.
Yeah, I'll tell you anyway. I'll tell you even on the camera, so I don't really care.
Alright, well listen.
Right, mate.
Tomorrow night.
To it, yeah. Last one of the year. What a great year it's been. 12 world title fights for Matchroom fighters this year. Incredible. And I was talking to Frank the other day, not Warren, Frank Smith, who works for me, and just going through the shows that we've had this year, the places that we've been, the nights that we've had, even, you know, starting off with Frampton Martinez in February, Burns in May up in Glasgow, twice obviously Gonzalez and Beltran, Froch against Kessler, the big night at the Echo Arena on March the 30th, Bellew against Chilemba, Crawler against Matthews, you know, the big night at the O2, Scott Quigg, the Anthony Joshua debut, who can forget the one at Craven Park, the outdoor event in Hull, Tommy Cole against Derry Matthews, Luke Campbell's big debut. Just so many big nights. Kell Brook, obviously, against Senchenko, Sheffield Arena. It's just been an absolutely mammoth year. And you know, like I say, 12 world title fights involving Matchroom fighters in 2012. That's one a month, because there's 12 months in the year. And so many more coming in 2014. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm telling you, we're going to take it to a new level in 2014. It's going to be sick, as the kids say.
Oh. Eddie, thanks for talking to IFL TV. We'll see you at the fight tomorrow. Starts at 10 in the morning.
Got a raccoon on her head. She heard that?
What did she say? Is it someone's wife? Someone's
I don't know.
fighter's wife?
She's got a raccoon on her head and she heard me.
Alright, thanks for talking to us.
I think she said, "Fuck off, lard ass," something like that. She was talking to you, mate.
Alright.
See you later.
Thanks.